This is kind of an elaboration on the last video. So, in order to achieve a big goal, you have to have small goals. So, using numerics, in order to lose 50 pounds, you have to set a goal of I'm going to lose 4 pounds a month. If you set a goal like I'm going to lose 1 pound a week, that's too frustrating and it's too small of an increment. Your fluctuation in weight could be as much as 2 to 3 pounds every day. So you won't see enough dramatic change, and people who are prone to quit will quit. But if you set a goal like I need to see an average of 4 pounds of fat loss a month, then at the end of 12 months, you've lost 48 pounds. So you are approximately on point for your goal. Another example is I want to bench 315 for 10 by June. So if the last time I benched incline, I got 315 for 9, that gives me an additional 6 months to get one more rep. So that seems to be easy, right? Okay, so let's say the goal was I want to bench 315 for 12 by June. Okay, that means that as long as I can hit 315 for 10 by January, I'm on track. As long as I can hit 315 for 11 by March, I'm doing good. And if I hit 315 for 12 by May, then I set a new goal. I want to hit 320 for 9 by June. And so forth and whatnot. One more rep, 5 more pounds. On the progression, and progression resistance is how you build muscle. You have to set a target goal and then mini goals. And you have a progression of advancement. Same thing with fat loss. It's like, okay, if I cannot lose 4 pounds this month, then my calories are too high, my cardio is too low. So I can adjust those variables and try to re-achieve the goal of 4 pounds lost in a month. And you need to have these small goals. So a checklist or motivation for employees are milestones or checkpoints. So you're like, okay, if you can generate 8,000 in revenue by the end of the month, you will get, let's say if you can generate 3,000 in revenue by the end of the month, you'll get a 10% bonus. So you'll get $300 if you can generate 3,000. If you can generate 5,000, you'll get a 15% bonus. So you'll get 750. Not 500, you'll get 750. So every checkpoint, every milestone, the percentage of the commission goes up. So that's a motivator for that person to make more money. And if you just said to someone, it's like, okay, you're pulling in 2,000 a month, I want you to make 8,000 a month, and you can then get 25% of that, so 2,000 as a bonus. That's daunting. They're like, how do I go from a 2,000 to 8,000? But if you're like, hey, if you can get up to 3,000, I'll give you a 10% bonus. Okay, cool. If you get up to 5,000 next month, you can get a 15% bonus. Okay, so I'm working for that 5,000. And that works. It's like if you say to someone who's benching 200 pounds, it's like, okay, that's great that you can bench 200 pounds. Adult men bench 300. That's not going to really get them anywhere. But if you're like, okay, well, so I'd like to see you benching 300 by the end of next year. So you got 18 months to add 100 pounds to your bench. So if you can add about 5 pounds a month to your bench, then we're good. So that's a 2.5. You like hold it up and you have them hold it. And they're like, look how tiny this is. This is nothing. One of these on each side. And then you switch those to 5s. Then you put the 2.5s back on. Then you take the 5 and the 2.5s off and put a 10 on. Then you put the 2.5s back on. Then you take the 2.5s off and put a 5 on. So if every month you're just going up one of these 2.5s each side, it's way more palatable of a goal. Just like 50 pounds. It's like, you got to lose. They're like, I want to lose about 20 pounds. It's like, why only 20? You need to lose 50 at least. And they'll cry away. But like, if you're like, what you should do is try to lose just 4 pounds every month until you have the body you want. And you're thinking in your head, oh, it's 50 pounds easy. But 4 pounds a month is a doable goal because it's only 1 pound a week. That's only a 500 calorie deficit a day. That's only 250 calorie deficit and 250 calories worth of cardio. That's only 20 minutes of cardio post weights and a reduction of 60 carbs a day, or a reduction of 10 grams of fat and 40 carbs a day. That's easy. It's fucking easy. So you break it down into smaller chunks. It's like having a kid eat a steak. They can't. So what does their mom do? They cut it up into tiny pieces and they feed it to them. So sometimes leadership would be cutting up a goal into little pieces and feeding it to somebody. So do that to yourself. Self-manage is like, if you have a big goal, break it up into smaller increments so you can achieve each increment. And you might have a motivational thing. Like I remember when I first got sober, my sponsor said, like, what's one thing you really like that you don't do? I was like, well, I really like Frappuccinos, but I can't justify the calories or the fact that they're $7. And he said, actually, they were $4 at the time. That's how long ago I got sober. And he said, so I want you to get a Frappuccino every month. I'm like, that's a waste of money. He's like, you deserve it. If you can go a whole month without drinking any alcohol at all, you deserve one Frappuccino a month. So I would have one Frappuccino every month. And before I knew it, I had 10 years sober. Now I have 20 years sober. So if you say to somebody who's 20 years old, hey, for as long as you've been alive, you're going to do that again without a single drink, not a drop of alcohol or any other drugs. People are like, you're fucking crazy. And that's why they say in AA, just for today. Just stay sober today. And then tomorrow you wake up and it's like, okay, just stay sober today. And that's all you're supposed to do is one day at a time. Just like the last video. How do you get from New York to California? One step at a time. That's it. Small incremental goals.